The morning sun had barely climbed above the rooftops when Aaron Cole realized how fragile his world had become. His hands were stained with engine oil, his shirt was faded from too many washes, and his heart carried a weight heavier than any wrench he had ever lifted. Life had taught him to survive without asking for help, but on that quiet suburban street, with bills piling up and hope running thin, he had no idea that a single act of kindness before noon would echo into the night and change everything. Before the story pulls you deeper, take a moment right now. If you believe kindness still matters, if you believe second chances can change lives, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel Beyond Heart Stories. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Aaron was a single father raising his 8-year-old son Noah after losing his wife to illness 3 years earlier. Every day began early, because survival demanded it. He worked part-time at a small auto repair shop, earning just enough to keep food on the table and rent paid late but paid. That morning he had been walking Noah to school before heading to work, when he noticed a sleek black car stalled on the side of the road. It stood out like a shadow among modest homes, expensive and unfamiliar, its hood raised under the bright daylight. A man in his late 40s stood beside it, clearly frustrated, glancing at his watch again and again. Aaron could have walked past. He had reasons to. His shift started soon, and Noah's school fees were overdue. But something in the man's posture, the quiet desperation of someone unaccustomed to helplessness, pulled Aaron closer. He took one look at the engine, recognized a simple issue, and without a second thought, rolled up his sleeves. The repair didn't take long. Just skill, patience, and hands shaped by years of fixing what others threw away. When the engine roared back to life, the man looked stunned, as if a wall he didn't know existed had suddenly cracked. Aaron refused payment. He simply nodded, wiped his hands, and walked away to catch his bus, never asking the man's name, never imagining their paths would cross again. To him, it was just the right thing to do. Kindness didn't need witnesses. The rest of the day moved slowly. At the repair shop, business was thin. Aaron's manager hinted at cutting hours. The unspoken fear settled deep in his chest. Less work meant harder choices. That afternoon, Aaron picked Noah up from school, helped him with homework, and cooked a simple meal, while sunlight filled their small apartment. They laughed over a silly drawing Noah had made, but behind Aaron's smile lived a quiet worry about tomorrow. As evening approached, Aaron sat at the kitchen table sorting overdue notices, the golden daylight fading into softer hues through the window. He told himself that as long as Noah was safe, he could endure anything. That belief had carried him this far. Then came the knock. It was firm, unexpected, and heavy with mystery. Aaron opened the door to find the same man from the roadside, now dressed sharply, standing beside a luxury car that gleamed under the streetlight just beginning to flicker. The contrast between the man's polished presence and Aaron's modest home was impossible to ignore. The visitor introduced himself as Victor Harlan, a businessman whose name alone carried weight in the city. What Aaron didn't know yet was that Victor was a billionaire who owned companies Aaron had unknowingly repaired vehicles for in the past. Victor had spent the entire day thinking about the mechanic who asked for nothing. In a world where everyone wanted something from him, that small moment of genuine kindness had shaken him deeply. Victor explained how that morning, he was on his way to a crucial meeting about closing a factory. One decision, one signature, would have left hundreds unemployed. The breakdown delayed him just long, enough to reconsider. Sitting on the roadside, watching Aaron work without arrogance or expectation, Victor was reminded of who those decisions truly affected. He had postponed the closure. But Victor hadn't come just to say thank you. He had asked around, found Aaron's address, and arrived with purpose. As daylight faded, Victor shared how his own childhood had been shaped by poverty, how he had once relied on strangers who helped him without knowing his future. Aaron listened in silence, overwhelmed, unsure why this powerful man stood in his doorway. Victor offered Aaron a chance, not charity, but opportunity. He had recently acquired a chain of small auto service centers and wanted someone honest, skilled, and grounded to manage one. He offered Aaron a stable salary, benefits, and flexible hours, so he could still be there for his son. The offer felt unreal, like sunlight breaking through years of clouded skies. Aaron struggled to breathe as the weight of the moment settled. All the nights of quiet fear, all the mornings of exhaustion suddenly led to this. He hadn't fixed a car for reward. He had simply done what felt right. Yet here it was, returning to him multiplied. Noah stood behind his father, holding onto his shirt, watching two worlds meet at their door. In that moment, Aaron realized this wasn't just about money or security. It was about dignity, about being seen. Before this story reaches its end, if this journey is touching your heart, please take a second to like the video, leave a heartfelt comment, and share it with someone who believes kindness still has power. Your engagement helps these stories reach the people who need them most. Victor left as night fully settled, promising to return the next day to finalize details. The apartment felt different after he left, lighter somehow. Aaron tucked Noah into bed. Sunlight replaced by calm moonlit silence, and for the first time in years allowed himself to imagine a future without constant fear.